Welcome back to the Conspiracy Outpost. Join us as we venture into the realm of UFOs where eyewitness accounts challenge our perceptions and scientific skepticism meets the unexplained. From ancient times to current times, UFOs have been a part of our world. So let's dig into this congressional meeting that happened on June 26, 2023. I'm your host, Casey. Almost forgot my name.
I'm Joe. That's all I got.
And special guest, Richard.
Hello. I'm Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, from beyond the grave, Richard Pryor.
I'm back, bitches.
Joe, did you end up watching that short highlight clip?
I'm going to be real. I tried to watch it. I was half awake. And I didn't understand what was going on.
All right, so it looks like me and old Richard are going to be the experts on this one.
I just heard the whiskey something. I was like, that means W, doesn't it?
Oh, shit, I love whiskey.
I love whiskey. Fuck yeah. And then I just started looking at different types of whiskey after that.
It's like I heard them say whiskey, so I was like, well, if you insist. And then next thing I knew, I was asleep.
Next thing I know, I was pounding whiskey, and then they had the Gator videos were pounding subliminal messages into my head.
Anyways, so I just started blasting.
Did you, Richard? Did you watch the whole? Like it was like 2.5 hours or whatever it was for the.
I watched a good portion of it. I think I watched like an hour and like 45 minutes.
That's more or less you got the the ending was just more or less just closing stuff for like a half hour and them asking almost the same questions over and over.
Oh, the ending I seen was two aliens busted out. Everybody started freaking out and they had a massive orgy.
It would have been hella funny.
I would like to point out that I did watch one video, and it was of what's his name, Mark Hoppus. Is that Blink-182? Is that the one that left? Saying, I was right, motherfuckers, fuck you, or something like that.
You know,
and he left Blink-182?
He had left Blink-182. It was one of the members of Blink-182 had left to go research aliens.
Yeah, okay, see, but he's also a bitch, though, because even though he left to go do it, the reason why I don't like him is because he said he started this little foundation, and he was like, oh, but I have to make $500,000 a year. If this foundation only makes $501,000, the $1,000 just goes to the foundation, and I get the other $500,000. He's a piece of shit because he wasn't willing to fucking take a pay cut he just wanted money. He was greedy. He's a bastard. Fuck that guy. He can suck a dick. I don't care.
Tell us what you really think.
Sir, munching down you fucking piece of shit. I don't care.
Just like ranting like heatedly while eating Doritos, man.
What kind of Doritos are you eating?
Shh, fucking nacho ones, not even spicy ones.
You gotta try the tangy barbecue ones. The tangy barbecue ones are good.
I didn't know they had barbecue Doritos.
It's a newer one. It's a black bag. It's called Tangy Barbecue.
Okay, they aren't terrible. It's I think it's the same seasoning from the Lay's barbecue.
Yeah, I feel like they steal some of the.
Are they spicy?
Yeah, a little bit. They're not really spicy. They got like a spice to it. I don't know. They got a little kick to it, but it's not like spicy. I don't know.
A little bit of a tangy taste.
Just a tang.
Yeah, it's the tanginess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a taste of a little tang.
Ooh.
Oh no, like I've
pervert.
There are a lot of people like a lot of really like sweet flavored chips. I fucking hate them.
I like the purple Doritos.
Yeah, I hate those. Absolutely hate them. And then a lot of people like the honey like Fritos or whatever, those twists. Those are fucking disgusting.
Oh, I was just eating a bag of those at home too.
Yeah, fucking gross.
They used to taste better. They don't taste as good as they used to. Yeah. They taste like shit now, but back in the day when they first came out, they were popping, but now they're just bland and you get one that tastes like barbecue and one that kind of tastes like a honey, and then one that just tastes like shit, and then you get a good one in there.
Like the only barbecue
1 and 4
that I really like are just fucking like Lay's, and I don't even like those all that much.
Yeah, because you're a fucking alien.
Yep.
Not the good
Speaking
kind
of
either that
aliens.
builds houses.
Snort.
There was one guy. I don't know, Richard, if you got the vibe off of him, that David Grush guy, Grush. I feel like he was a cunt. Like, I don't. Every question that he's like, oh, I can't answer that. Not in an open session, in private session. Oh, I can't answer that. I can't answer. And then every question that he always has this long ass explanation about everything. Like, he'll just talk in a circle. I feel like he was planted there to do some, just to decredit somebody. Because even the panel even said, it's like, oh, there's a lot of people that want to decredit you.
Right.
Which the way he was talking just made it like, he sounds like a fucking cunt.
Can you imagine if he went to strip clubs and he would just be drunk telling prostitutes, like, in a very fucking professional manner, stuff about like UFO sightings?
So how did this all come about? Anyways, like what started this? Because you had said that like this happened like a year ago too, right, Casey?
Yeah. So last summer the Congress met with each other after 50 years, and the last time they did that was after Roswell, and they were discussing that they were talking with the Navy, I think general or commander, whatever they're called in the Navy, and they were showing videos and like, oh, we have this video that we don't know what it was from, but it was they would just make up some excuses, and then the one that they couldn't, that whole thing was a shit show too. Dude, watching these guys using a VLC player, first of all, some bullshit downloaded player that they got off of something, and they were trying to freeze frame a video of a orb shooting past one of the planes, one of their jets, and I don't know how many times they were playing it and just trying to press pause on the spot instead of just pressing pause and scrubbing the video with the thing. I was like, all these intelligent people in here, and now one of them know how to use a fucking proper video thing, not some spam ass shit that you downloaded. And
not to mention, they're in the Navy. There are people there who specialize in computers, so you can like just have them prepare the presentation.
It was like 6 guys all trying to figure it out. I'm like, and I was sitting there and I was laughing. I was like, this can't be fucking real. I was like, this is some bullshit. I was like, and they're using some bullshit VLC player. I was like,
they couldn't,
what the hell?
They couldn't, use something where you could just go through frame by frame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like take a still picture and be like, oh, here's the video and here's the still of it,
Yeah.
They were trying to do this all live, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have to come back to it. And it was like another like 20 minutes, and they're like, oh, we finally got the picture. And they showed it. I was like, this is stupid.
The only thing, it's like, come check out this footage we got. And there's like one guy with one of those old timey fucking cameras where they're having the roller.
Yeah, but so that
just reminds me of the fucking South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, where the general's trying to get the fucking presentation to run on Windows and it keeps crashing. So he gets Bill Gates in there and shoots him.
But so that whole thing was just them, like they were saying some videos that they weren't sure. I think they confirmed one of them, like I think it was that ball one, that they said that they didn't know what it was. But all their other ones, the few other ones that they showed, I think there was like 2 or 3 other ones that they talked about. They all they said was they just had some like there was like some triangles that were caught on radar and seen through I think it was like infrared or night vision, one of the two. And they're like, oh, apparently our goggles create triangles in the sky. And I was like, that's the excuse you come up with. That's your fucking thing here. How do you explain the radar then, boy?
Yeah, no.
It's go ahead.
Sorry. The one thing I thought was really fucking weird was that they, after what, how long has it been? Like a fucking decade of them covering this shit up, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, the DOD approves it. I think it's weird.
I think it's getting to a point. I think the reason why they're having these hearings is because it's getting to a point where they're not going to be able to hide everything. They're not going to be able to just blow smoke up the American people's asses because of all the technology that's out here. Eventually, someone's going to catch something.
With how quickly shit gets posted, it's fucking wild. I mean, I don't know the credibility of the stuff that just happened in your neck of the woods recently, but that shit that happened in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I have it. Well, I kind of watched a video about it, but
Didn't that happen like the one weekend you were in California?
That happened before I moved out here, I think.
I thought
I think it was like the week before I came out.
See, I thought it happened like when you were up here.
But there was like two separate things. So like there was one where there was like a big ass like light blast in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And the police were called and stuff and nobody could figure it out. And then there was another one where someone supposedly, I was kind of watching the video, but I can't really remember it. I can just give you like a basic idea of it. This guy was on his video, but he sounded like, you know, like the stupid like film, those found footage fucking things are like, oh my god, you see this? You see this? Yeah, it was like that. And on the other side of his shed, there was like a window in there, and then you can see like a big old protruding head just like kind of move and stop and stay there. And then he was like, oh my god.
Like
I'm gonna go masturbate.
But yeah.
So those are the two. I don't know if those are the same thing, but those are the two things that I know about that happened out here just recently.
It's so hard to tell what's real and what's not with like AI and shit. Honestly.
Extra fingers, which doesn't help with alien shit, but yeah.
But
that thing has two thumbs. It must be AI, or it just has two thumbs.
But what they were saying, like in this current congressional meeting, they were saying that no matter what it is, like if someone someone gets a video of a UFO or UAP, whatever you want to call them, on their phone, and they turn it over to the government automatically takes that and classifies it. And then once it's classified, the main guy, I think his name was David Fravor. He was a high-ranking Navy commander, and he said it doesn't matter what it is, they just automatically classify it. And he says a lot of stuff just gets forgot about, and then they just don't research it, or go look into it. And then by the time they go look into it, there's nothing that they could figure out about it because they waited so goddamn long.
Right.
And so I think it's getting to the point, like, because basically everybody of every age group has a smartphone in their pocket, and when you have that many cameras around, someone's going to catch something, and they're going to throw it on the internet. It's probably going to get fucking shot down by everybody saying it's fake or if it's real, or depending. But there are a lot of cunts out there that like to fake it. And
there's also like a lot of people just live streaming this shit now.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen some weird shit in the sky before when I was living in Orville, but I didn't know what the fuck it was when it was there, and it wasn't.
No, yeah, it's hard to like. I'd say it's easy to fake shit, but at the same time, it's like it's harder now because everybody's got phones, everybody's got internet. Just record the shit.
And the whole world's connected. A lot of people online they're like, oh, it's weird that the Americans are the only ones that see UFOs.
Yeah, dude, if you can't take down Cardi B's nipples right away off Instagram, you can hide a whole alien species that easily. Someone's gonna see it at least once before it gets taken down.
I mean, I've seen like shit like that, like videos from like Russia of like supposed UFO shit.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. Everyone's always saying like, oh, it's weird how the United States are the only people that see UFOs. But I've seen UFO accounts from all over the world. And plus, even like ancient times on their drawings, like, people, a lot of people talk shit about ancient aliens, but a lot of their shit, it's kind of true. They all have like the same images that supposedly none of these civilizations knew each other or connected to each other, but somehow they almost have exactly the same hieroglyphs or depictions that they have on their walls. They're like almost the same, and they almost look like they're fucking astronauts flying in a spaceship,
or how they all have like fucking pyramids and shit everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, oh, everybody decided to build a fucking triangle.
Yeah.
Like we got no square buildings anywhere, and then all these, like, they have massive stones that are like laser cut that we can't even do or move these days, but somehow these motherfuckers with no technology, and then they always come out with some shit like, oh yeah, we finally figured out how the how the Egyptians built the pyramids. I've seen like 15 different posts all saying different shit. You know, like it's
Dude,
like you guys don't know shit. You guys are just grasping at straws and hoping something sticks.
With that, I just got to address this because it's one of my favorite theories when it comes to the pyramids is the sound vibrations to move them, make them lighter or something like that, or just change them physiologically. Like that theory is wild to me, and I love it.
I saw not too long ago, it was like somebody like poured some water into some like fucking vibrations and it made like a certain shape and whatnot.
Yeah, so there's this documentary. It's a 3-part documentary called The Code, and it basically tells you how everything has its own, like everything basically boils down to math. And if you like stick sand on a speaker, that sand will create a shape. And if you stick something else, it'll create a different shape. Like it creates
the sound waves.
And that's how everything is. Basically, every living thing can be all broken down into these simple little things.
The lower the pitch, I believe, the like more wide the wave of it is, and then the higher the pitch, the narrower the wave is. Just like sound waves go, because it directly manipulates it like that.
If that was the case, like how the fuck would they get the sound to do that? A giant ass horn?
No, because they had giants. You see the pyramid paintings where the guy's carrying a fucking woolly mammoth and the person on the other half of his little carrying stick.
Yeah, that's another one that I believe, because when we did the ancient apocalypse thing, there was like tons of stuff about giants and that. But no, like this theory says that they were able to focus their voices actually into a certain frequency range that fucked with the stuff so that they can move it. I don't know. It's an interesting theory.
Like a horn.
No, not through a horn, just through their mouth.
It's so weird.
It's just an interesting way to think about it. Sort of like how like an opera singer could shatter a glass by tapping into the right frequency.
Yeah, true.
And so that's essentially what they were saying, is something like that. But like what a lot of people and it's just an interesting thing to think about, and I don't think it's real. I don't think it would work, but who knows?
So you're telling me my singing is going to help us fend off the aliens?
Yes.
Yes. I get to be the hero.
Show us what you got.
I get to be the hero because I'm going to fuck one of them aliens and give them an STD, and then they're all going to die. It's going to be like War of the Worlds.
Everybody's cheering you on while you do it. Yeah.
It's going to be like War of the Worlds. Could you imagine if that kills them?
Could you imagine
this time it's not just germs, it's the clap.
Could you imagine if that's why aliens don't land? Because they get fucking, we'll get them sick like right away. They just start dying.
There he goes. Homeboy fucked a Martian once.
I mean, if you kind of think about that, though, I mean, maybe something couldn't survive from something as simple as the common cold. Like, just come here and someone sneezes on them. Fuck. Their heads for some reason swell up and explode.
You see that little green man?
Isn't it the reason the Amazonians got wiped out or something like that? Was the Europeans came and they gave them like all sorts of diseases.
Yeah, dude, the Europeans are fucking famous for that shit. They go everywhere spreading disease.
They came back like 100 and something years later, and they're fucking all dead.
Dude, fucking, it's crazy how fucking Christian missionaries spread the word of God and disease everywhere they go, and their seed.
And their seed.
The Spanish were really good at that.
At least the Vikings did it nobly. When they showed up, you knew you were getting fucked.
You knew you were fucked. Because you've seen those ships and those fucking horns blowing and those fucking men rowing, or the drums beating. I mean,
when the missionaries showed up, he thought it was all.
Start spitting on yourself.
Yeah, when the missionaries showed up, he thought it was all cool, and then your son would be like, "I don't want to go to church anymore. My bum hurts."
If your bum hurts, it's because Jesus wills it.
Paganism.
Did you say paganism? Oh God, that's a good one.
Thanks. I'll be here all night.
I'll be so, that reminds me of or just the alien thing about them being on Earth. Well, who was it? Fucking Eddie Griffin, his stand-up comedy thing. He's talking about aliens, and they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go say." I can't remember the exact joke. I'm gonna butcher it, but one of them tries to go, and the other alien's just like, "No, what the hell are you doing? They fight about being black and white. We're purple. What the fuck you think they're gonna do to us?" No, it's just all funny.
That's amazing.
Oh man.
They said they had a bunch of ships and shit, right?
Yeah, so this is the one guy, the guy that, I mean, if he's telling the truth, that's cool, but he just sounded like he was full of shit the way he was talking. But that David Grush guy, he is the one who said that he personally hasn't seen anything, but he knows of a bunch of testimonials from military people that he wouldn't disclose any of their names, and they would have to go into closed session and with guarantees that the actual, like the cunt government wouldn't find out. But
like a skiff, right, or something like that.
What was that?
It's called a skiff, where he like secretly talks to like the Congress and shit.
Is that what it's called? I
think that's what he said. It's called a skiff, or I don't know.
I have no idea either.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like he said it said they recovered non-human biologics, and they have from crashed UAPs, which would be the UFO. Well, the same shit, but they said, and then they said they've been okay. Here, I have a thing. It says Bruce. He told lawmakers that he was informed of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineer program. During this course of his work examining classified programs, he said he was denied access to those programs when he requested it, and accused the military of misappropriating funds, which is true, to shield these operations from congressional oversight. He later said that in an interview, he later said he had an interview with officials who had direct knowledge of aircraft with non-human origins, and so-called biologics were recovered from the craft.
I think it's weird how the aliens are just so fucking advanced. They came over here and are just somehow like dropping out of the sky and just giving us technology. Isn't that weird? Like, just have all those ships and shit.
We have defenses that might shoot stuff down. I mean, that wasn't the case with certain things that happened in like around Alaska, but yeah.
Around
Also,
the entire United States, we couldn't even shoot a fucking weather balloon down that the Chinese sent over here.
I mean,
until it was off the coast of South Carolina or wherever it was.
Maybe our atmosphere is really harsh compared to other planets. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Getting into it,
It only takes one ship to crash to reverse engineer, and if the accounts are true, there was 2 that crashed in Roswell back in 1947. So I mean, they had those, and then the second one that happened, I forgot what city it was in. It was the second one that they found. That one was supposed had that's the one that had like 6 bodies that they recovered from this crash site.
Oh shit!
So that may have been what he was referring to, but I don't know. Because it's not really, because you don't really hear of a lot of UFOs crashing, but even if they did, they're not going to disclose that shit. This isn't the 40s no more. Can't just send some people and send out the Men in Black and threaten you, There's people like, oh no, I caught these motherfuckers on my Ring camera.
Yeah. I think the whole situation's weird, man. I think, I don't know. There's like a little part of me that thinks like, oh, it could be real because he's a 14-year officer of information or whatever he was. At the same time, what's stopping those higher ups from being like, hey, we'll take care of your family for the rest of your life. Just go tell this bullshit lie.
Yeah. But he did say something that I did find interesting. This guy, in his opening statement, he said he threw out some dates, I think, of when his service was, but he said he was working on something up from this year all the way. Well, not this year, but the year whatever he started. I didn't write it down, but he said to 2025, and then he backtracked. He's like, actually, sorry about that. 2023 is what he said. So that just makes me feel like some shit's going to be happening in 2025 that he just accidentally let slip. If
Whoops.
oh shit, I was supposed to say that.
Project Bluebeam. 2 years from now.
Someone's definitely going to suicide me after that.
Well, he said he's been threatened. He knows people who's been threatened by the government, and I guess one of the people on the congressional stand up there, whatever you call them, the supreme overlords of the Congress, they that were asking the questions. They said they audit the Pentagon every year, and every year their audit comes back fucked up. There's at least $1 billion that is missing, and they only claim about 60, or like there's like 60% of their assets that are not accounted for as well.
That's not easy. That's all trips to Epstein's Island.
And so there's a lot of money and a lot of tech that's not accounted for that the Pentagon gets away with. And they even said if a normal person did something like that, that's prison time. But our government's sitting there doing it right now, and they have proof that like there's misappropriated funds and 60% of their fucking arsenal is all missing, but they get away with it.
They got proof that fucking the one
It must be nice having money.
Yeah, that's rich people get away with doing shit all the time, like tax fraud, all this stuff, when nothing ever happens.
Yep.
David Grush guy also said that he knows personally people who spotted UAPs, and he knows of multiple colleagues who are injured by UAPs as well. And he said he has interviewed individuals who had recovered the non-biologics from the crashes. And I guess he doesn't like calling them aliens. He likes to call them non-human origins or biologics.
Creatures of non-human origin.
He doesn't want to put
like
a title on them or whatever.
Biologics kind of sound.
He doesn't want to put a title on him, but he's just giving him a different title.
So by his words, it could just be like a fucking cow or something. You know, like a goddamn pig.
Creature of non-Earth origin.
But what I don't get, because David Favor and Ryan Graves, they both were very open about what they were talking about, and they were very open about saying that we spotted these people with visual contact. We got them on radar, and then when we asked for the radar tapes or whatever, the recordings, they just magically disappear. And he's like, and they're like, they've never been able to find it, and it's been missing or whatever. And so that they were very straightforward with their encounters and their stories and their answers. But the David Grush guy, he was talking in circles, and that's what made me like. I'm like, man, you're talking worse than you're talking like a politician, and none of the politicians that are up there are talking like this.
If the radar story is legit, that was the Men in Black who went in there and got that shit. That's what they do, bro.
Shit, Will Smith?
Yeah.
But there's only one thing worse than not handing over your radar tapes to the Men in Black, and that's having their wife's name in your mouth.
Damn.
Oh, man. Slap the shit out of you.
Wow, dude.
Wow, you went there.
And then the Congress is like getting kind of mad too, because they're supposed the Department of Defense and everyone's supposed to go through Congress, but they're like, oh, is there some level that we're not allowed to do anything? And then they said, because he asked the Grush guy, he's like, what's the highest top secret clearance? And then he told him, and then like 3 of the guys that were sitting on the board have that clearance. He's like, well, we requested the same stuff and we were denied access. So he's like, obviously there's something else above us that
Casey,
we're not able to access. Yeah,
you said that Groosh guy, and that sounds like a racial slur.
that's his last name is Grush.
I know. It just sounds funny because
Well,
I was
because
like,
there's two Davids, so there's David Grush, David Favor. So that's why I was calling him.
It just sounds like the way you worded it. It sounds like it's some kind of racial slur or something.
So let me get into some background about Ryan Graves. So he was a former Navy pilot. He told the panel that military pilots do not feel adequately briefed on UAPs, and he says which leaves them unprepared to respond to the encounters that they encounter in the sky. Graves, he was an F-18 pilot stationed in Virginia Beach in 2014 when his squadron first began detecting unknown objects. He described them as dark gray or black cubes inside of a clear sphere, with the apex or tips of the cubes were touching the inside of the sphere. He said a fellow pilot told him about one incident 10 miles off the coast in which an object between 5 and 15 feet in diameter flew between the F-18s and came within 50 feet of one of the aircraft. He said that there was no acknowledgement of the incident or way to report the encounter at the time. And he asked to see the sensor and video data that he witnessed. Our national conversation. He said, if everyone could see the sensor and video data that I witnessed, our national conversation would change. I urge us to put aside a stigma and address the security and safety issue on this topic. The safety issues this topic represents. If the UAP are foreign drones, it's urgent national security problem. If it's something else, it's an issue for science. In either case, unidentified objects is a concern for flight safety, and the American people deserve to know what's happening in our skies. And it is long overdue. And then he said that the stigma silences pilots who fear professional repercussions, which he said that is compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimonies.
So not only are there aliens, but they're Borg. Panel. Like we're facing the Borg right now.
Do y'all think aliens like make their own type of meth?
Probably.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely blue. It's definitely blue, like fucking
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
What would happen fit it to a human?
You'd start reading minds. You'd start reading minds and seeing the answers of the universe.
Southside waving around a sword.
Probably. Dude, Casey, you missed a very important part. Was as that aircraft passed them, they broke through the airwaves and they're flipping them off, and it's like, who's the Top Gun now, bitch? And he's wearing a fucking flannel and a fucking Top Gun.
and then their plane's having issues, and his co-pilot tries to eject. He's like, "No, ghost!" And he dies. And that's one of the bodies we got.
Why it's all getting brought up? That's being like resurfaced like now, or they're bringing all this shit to the surface now. It's because aliens came around in the 70s to watch movies from the 70s and 80s because they fucking loved our films then. But now like they're like, all right, these people ain't got fucking shit. They just keep doing superhero movies and remakes, everything. We're out of here. Flooding out now. Fucking wearing fucking Top Gun hats and fucking wearing wigs resembling Patrick Swayze's.
They loved Top Gun Maverick, man.
Nostalgia sells.
A couple of them even had cameos in it. You could just barely see them in the background in the sky. Now, do you like? So they were cube-shaped ships.
Yeah. Oh, it was a clear sphere with gray or black cubes on the inside of it, and the apex of the cubes were touching the edges of the sphere.
Hey, you gotta give them.
I thought it was just like cubes. That's why I said we're facing the Borg, because if you guys see Star Trek, the Borg have cube ships.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they do, huh?
Borg cube, yeah.
You got to give the government some credit. They do know the shit out of their shapes. Cubes, squares, triangles.
Someone passed geometry.
Yeah, I was actually pretty damn good at geometry.
Well, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I can tell you what shape it is. And they pull out one of those kids' toys where you match the shapes in the little hole. Now, originally, we tried to put this one in this spot here that at first we were calling the 3-pointer. Turns out it's a triangle. Like, what can you tell us about? Oh man, what can you tell us about these flying objects? Well, I'm glad you asked. We have we actually we actually create our own diorama or whatever diorama, and he pulls out one of those fucking toys.
For example.
Our cameras make this footage here of this shape.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh man.
So the last guy that talked, the witness or whatever, David Favor, he was my
How's that
favorite.
spelled?
Favor.
Okay, like because I was
Favor.
wondering if it was possibly.
I'm probably saying it wrong.
I was wondering if it was possibly spelled like Favre, like Brett Favre.
I keep saying it wrong. Fravor.
Oh, so it's like Fravor. I thought you were saying like favor, like do me a favor or something.
That's how I'm saying it, but I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced.
So that
it's
sounds like
Fravor, but it's harder to say that instead of just.
That sounds like a racist. That sounds like a racist form of someone saying flavor.
Yeah. The flavor of the.
But him and Mr. Ryan Graves, they're the ones that I gave most credit to. But this guy Fravor, he was a former Navy commander with 20 plus years of service. I think he said.
So him and Chinese child trying to say flavor.
He said he and three fellow. He said that he and three fellow military pilots spotted a white Tic Tac shaped UAP object in 2004 hovering above their jets just above the Pacific Ocean. As he descended to inspect the sighting, he claimed that the unidentified craft, which had no visible rotors, wings, or exhaust, began to ascend and approach his fighter jet. He claimed that the UAP then vanished only to reappear a few seconds later, but this time it was spotted 60 miles away. He told the committee that the technology he and his team encountered defies all logical explanation. They said that technology that we faced is far superior to anything that we had or will have in the next 10 to 15 years. And he's like, and they asked him, and there's like, oh, if you were to fight one of these, would you be able to defend yourself? And he's like, there's nothing we can do about it. He's like, they're outmatch us. Like, there's nothing, anything in our world that we currently know of that we have nothing that will match it. He said that there was the thing, it would go down, go up into like 80,000 feet in the air, which is space, come back down, hover above water, and we currently don't possess anything that can just hover midair like that. Well, I mean, like a helicopter, but those aren't helicopters. And then it shoots around, darting around the fucking. And he said there's like, they said that they believe. I
only let that slide once. You said helicopter twice.
Helicopter. No, but so
it's
a helicopter, but the blades are the heels of feet.
He said they said he saw some white caps in the water, and when they were doing this,
taking some white caps
when he was off the coast of San Diego, and they said it was a clear day with no waves. Like there's nothing to cause that is what got their attention, and they believe that whatever was in the water, that the ship that they spotted was trying to communicate with that, and then when they got a radar lock on this ship, it jammed their radars. It jammed our radars, and we couldn't lock onto it anymore, and it jammed the radios and all that shit. So they said that's why he said if these things were gonna come after us, there'd be nothing we can do. They'd just fuck us up, basically.
My question is what the fuck? Why wouldn't they? Like, I don't know. They're being like super stealthy.
Well, because one of the congressional people, they asked him, he said, do you think they're just doing reconnaissance of us right now, trying to figure out because all these sightings, a lot of them are around nuclear test facilities or, like development areas. And they said, do you think they have they can only speculate at this point, but like, do you think they have an interest in our nuclear capabilities? And then the guys were just basically like, possibly, like, and they're like, fuck, I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you did.
Trying to stop
Right off the
killing
tracks.
themselves.
But they basically they were just wondering if they were concerned, like if they're just doing reconnaissance on our nuclear capabilities to see what we're capable of and what they can do to fuck us up.
Well, it only makes sense that like if you are doing reconnaissance on someone, you're gonna want to go to places where you could see how advanced they are scientifically. So I also wouldn't be surprised if they were around the Large Hadron Collider too, or around that area being seen.
If they got fucking technology like that, and they said we can't really take them in a fight, what the fuck are they waiting around for? I mean, other than
They may not be hostile. They may not.
I know, but I mean, if they're running recon to try to fucking do something,
it might not be for that. They may just be trying to see how our technology is advancing as compared to theirs, because their technology might have advanced in a completely different way than ours.
Yeah, one that doesn't destroy their planet.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Maybe they're trying to stop us from killing ourselves.
No, maybe. I mean, in which case, because you also got to, and it's hard to fucking.
What if it's actually just like people who time traveled back?
That'd be crazy.
See, that's what I was like in one of our earlier episodes. Well, actually, our pilot episode when I was listening to it, that what I said on there is like, I believe that aliens are just us, just an advanced form of us that are just not on Earth anymore. We're coming back, and that's why we spot them, or like why we have people like Mark Zuckerberg that acts and looks like a fucking alien. And there's a picture of this motherfucker, and he got some barbecue sauce on his shelf like it's a fucking knickknack.
Yeah, a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's.
Matthew's setting up right now.
He's like, oh, this way humans like.
Look. I don't blame him, dude. Sweet Baby Ray's is so good.
It is, but he doesn't even have a microwave in his office. So I don't know why he has that. Why he just has a random.
I don't
see him or
they
Elon
never give
Musk.
you enough sauce.
I don't see him or Elon Musk come to our planet just a celebrity box.
Celebrity deathmatch.
Are they really gonna do this?
Yeah, they're really supposed to all each other.
Probably not. But
Elon Musk said he's not allowed to.
Dude, imagine. Elon just downloads like all these like pro fighters like skill fights or like
into his head,
skill sets into his head, dude.
Like the Matrix, and then he gets knocked out, and then he gets like fucking hit. Like the first hit, Mark Zuckerberg just backhands him, and he's like, "You can't hit me. That's racist. Why? Because I'm African, motherfucker." They start fighting.
He's got the chin of Nate Diaz and the fucking white hook of Mike Tyson.
Oh man!
So what
I don't know how Nate Diaz stands up after some of this. Dude, his whole fucking lip was like hanging off, and he's like, "Oh, I'm good.
His whole fucking face is just butchered.
Quit giving me lip,
motherfucker. Spitting blood and everything.
It's crazy.
Quit giving me lip.
So what else you got on this?
So the way that the congressional meeting sounded and the way that it sounded like it was before is that the people on the congressional boards, they're the ones who sounds like they want full disclosure. It's the higher ups in government that are blocking this, that are hindering everything. There was even a guy there that said he said he'll make it his personal mission to hold these higher ups that are blocking these informations accountable to this shit. So I think it's getting more serious, and I think the stigma is starting to fade a bit.
The government wants you only afraid enough to where they can control you. If you're too afraid by something that is vastly more superior than you that it sounds like these aliens are, then that causes panic, and the government doesn't want that. They just want enough fear in you to turn you into sheep.
Well, that's what I want to know. What comes into like what everybody's gaining from it? Because like the answers so far, or like the fucking guesses people have, it's too vague for me to fucking like actually think that's what they're doing. What if we throw in fucking Sherpo here and just be like, hey, we still have a foreign exchange program going on. Like, what's going on? Like we've been in talks and just like chilling with other planets, and they're trying to help us, which is why they're doing all these fucking like clean energy. These clean whatever bills as aliens trying to tell us how to clean our planet up. It's like
I don't think the aliens.
First off, throw more straws in the sea.
Turtles.
Oh my god, dude! Andrew Santino. Wait, was it Andrew Santino? I think it was. He was like, I'm not that smart, whatever. Again, I'm gonna butcher his joke, but he's like, but come on, they said stuff about straws. Like, you tell me like these straws just so happen every time going into these fucking turtle shells. And he's like, fuck, what did he say? He was like, something that's like, better luck or whatever of throwing a straw in the air and catching it with my dickhead or something like that.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure it was Andrew Santino said something along those lines.
The redhead guy, right?
Yeah, the redheaded dude.
Yeah.
That dude's funny as fuck. He had a new special on
I
Netflix.
kind of hate when they give you a paper straw at a place because it's like,
shit.
well, yeah, it tastes badly, but I reuse straws because I drink a lot. So it's like, especially if I have like alcohol, I'll keep moving that straw to a different drink or something like that, and I'll drink a cup of like a good amount of drinks. So it's like by the time I'm in the second drink, this straw is already starting to flop around and shit. It's like, cool, now I need a new straw. It only works for the one drink you have, and it only works for a little bit, you know? They do.
How come we can't focus on fucking building shit that is actually fucking, everybody's focused on building like weapons and other shit that is like cutting corners of shit that harms everything, but it helps us be lazier. Why don't they ever fucking focus time into finding like more biodegradable shit?
Because this world revolves around money, and if everyone just got their dicks out of their hands, all these world leaders, and they just all joined up together, you wouldn't have to worry about these big ass spending money, because obviously all our money is made up and fake anyway. So it doesn't even matter with that. They just have a in their little heads. They just have their all the yeah, and that's what's fucking us up. And that's like if they just like, oh yeah, like we can we have
the rich are trying to kill the poor, and it's like, no, because the only way they're rich is if we keep consuming the bullshit they keep crapping out.
Yeah, like if
they're just among themselves, and then there's just who's wealthy among the wealthy.
Is that kitten meowing at you, Richard?
It's stuck in the room. I'm just watching it walk around.
Richard's over there punching it. No, I'm just kidding. But that brought something I was trying to say earlier was it's hard to fucking like wrap your head around, but also not every fucking like living creature revolves around violence like humans do. We want something, we take it. We don't understand something, we hate it, we want to kill it. Like everything is fucking revolved around violence, unless we have stories of like religious tales to say, hey, don't be bad, or you're gonna have a violent end forever. Quit your violence, or there'll be more violence. There's no like peaceful. Well, I mean, is it Mormons or Jewish people? Some religion doesn't believe in hell, but the other aspects of like Christian stuff.
Hell's the way that they scare kids with hell is a joke, because it doesn't matter what crimes you commit on earth, as long as you accept God at the end and you apologize for what you did. That's their belief. The only thing that you can't say, that is the only sin that's unforgivable, is you just basically saying Jesus isn't real or God's not real or whoever they are. Because they act like it's the same person. They're like, oh, Jesus and God. They talk about him interchangeably, you know, but one's supposed to be the Father and one's supposed to be the Son, but they talk about him like the same fucking person, whatever way they want to fit their narrative, however they want to speak. I don't know.
Casey, you eat that Dorito and you tell me there's no God. You're like cheesy atheism. Nacho God.
I don't believe in God in the sense of any other religions on our planet. I believe there are what we, like our ancestors and ancient civilizations believed what to be gods were actually extraterrestrial visitors. and that's where they got the idea of God. And then, you know, the Christians just took it from the pagans and just murdered everybody who didn't believe in it. And they're like, oh, if you kill people and you rape people, it's bad. But, you know, we did it through the Crusades, and we just don't do that no more.
Everyone's done it at some point in history. Some people still do it.
Oh, boo, you people had a little case of the rape seas. We've been doing it for years.
Gonna cry.
We've been plowing for the Lord for centuries.
So,
like with the aliens, I don't think if they were going to come down here, they wouldn't just mass annihilate everybody. They might make an example. They might make an example out of a few million people.
yeah.
But
they could have a fucking.
Why would you waste a whole planet of slaves that you could possibly have? You know, like if they were coming here to mine something, they're not going to bring all their people to do it. They're going to make us do their work and then probably kill us when they're done, or leave us in a barren planet with no resources left.
They're actually sad. They're actually running us dry of all of our fossil fuels. They just go from planet to planet for fossil fuels.
They're like, oh, these guys are almost tapped out. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. All right, we're heading out. You guys can go ahead and tell everybody about us now. We'll be on our way.
So you're telling me on their planet they got diesel trucks?
They used it because they take things like they actually take vehicles similar to ours, and they like do monster truck battles on fucking Mars.
You guys never seen that UFO rolling coal? That should be hella funny.
Hey, Bleep Bloop, what do you got there? Some diesel fuel and what they call a cigarette. A what? I don't think you should be smoking that right next. Well, I don't know. Wait,
they'd probably be vaping these days, the aliens.
Vaping.
They were vaping from way before we were. They're actually the ones that introduced it.
This is a pancake really flavored. Cool. Remember those ones that you made us when we were barbecuing and they were you didn't put salt in them and they taste like shit and you gave them to that human? Yeah, remember that? Yeah, now we got some flavored ones, you bastard. You're not gonna smoke it.
It's all this is the fucking alien meth.
Hey, what's that? Oh, it's called a vape. What are you doing? You're smoking a plant? It's just like in there. It's like, yeah, so it's pretty cool. He's all like just vaping. It's like, yeah, it puts shards of metal in your lungs, but your people won't figure out about it for another 60 years. There's that rumor that it possibly puts plastic or whatever it said. I don't remember what it is. Nobody knows. Yeah, metal shards or whatever the fuck.
It said aluminum, or I think it was aluminum, and then they said
aluminium.
They said that the vape juice is crystallized in your lungs too.
Nice.
Which I never had a problem the whole time I was vaping, so I don't know. I don't fucking.
They supposedly it's supposed to be in the very long run, like when you're like an old ass, when you're an old ass Casey.
Well, I mean, who knows? Then.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, who knows? And it's like, yeah, but people are fucking smoking, and we inhale fucking toxic shit all day long, anyways. I don't.
Yeah.
Each his own.
You got anything else on this?
Pretty soon, California's going to make it where you can only vape out your butt. And it's like, yeah, now y'all either gonna do that, or y'all either gonna meet us at a pride parade in San Francisco, or you're just gonna quit smoking.
Fart and sniff it like on South Park. No, so that's all I got for it. I mean, I'm a believer of the aliens. The universe is way too big just for us, and there's too much weird shit going on constantly throughout history, not just current times. Just because we have cameras now, but there's been recordings of shit all throughout.
Oh yeah, everyone who listens knows mine and yours opinion on aliens. We the believers.
For sure, dude.
Joe and Matt were the skeptics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of I mean, maybe not. I don't fucking know.
It's like that one. I saw this one video I seen of like Elon Musk talking. It's like, what's scarier, us being like alone, or us like or actually finding a civilization that's more advanced than us? Like, what the fuck happened to everybody else?
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
I believe. Yeah, it's crazy. I think we're gonna see a lot more a lot more congressional meetings going on throughout
Yes, we are at the
times.
precipice of what is to come. I think
Ooh,
just or just the beginning.
Dude,
It's on the horizon now.
imagine the aliens are actually friendly and like they just come live on Earth, District 9.
Just like, bro,
Oh,
we brought you,
yeah.
we brought you
I haven't
alien
seen that movie in
drugs.
a while.
We just want to chill. It's like, fuck yeah.
We're
You
here
guys,
to
we see that you guys are using DMT. We got something 15 times stronger than that.
Joe
here.
Rogan's all the way in.
You guys are doing.
We
you
have
guys are
heroin
doing,
and coke that doesn't kill you.
You guys are doing what with baking soda?
Shit, word?
I saw this meme. It's like it was like aliens watching humans use DMT to jump in the fourth dimension or whatever. And like, what in the redneck shit is this?
Bleep bloop.
So I think we covered that one.